I'm Natalie Danganan, bringing you today's burning issues and the hottest news. Here on News Force.
Here are today's headlines. Queen Elizabeth dies at 96, Prince Charles III succeeds. President Marcos meets with DOH and DILG to assess COVID-19 situation. Rear Admiral Valencia appointed as Philippine Navy Chief. DepEd vows zero-tolerance policy against violence and abuse in schools. DILG and PNP rescue minor victims of cyber-sex crime. Filipina tennis ace Alex Ayala advances to U.S. Open quarterfinals. Fair and balanced news. Comprehensive reports that will take you to the heart of the action. This is News Force.
For today's top story, Queen Elizabeth II, the longest-serving monarch in British history and an icon instantly recognizable to billions of people around the world, died at 96 years old. The royal family announced that she died at Balmoral Castle, her summer residence in Scotland, where members of the royal family had rushed to her side after her health took a turn for the worse. Her 73-year-old son, Prince Charles, automatically becomes king upon her death and will be known as King Charles III. Prime Minister of the United Kingdom Liz Truss also expressed sympathies for the death of the Queen and said that she was the very spirit of Great Britain and that she leaves a great legacy to the world. President Bongbong Marcos also sympathized with the royal family and said that the world has lost a true figure of majesty in what she demonstrated throughout her entire life and reign as a queen. For health updates, the Department of Health or DOH has recorded 2,404 coronavirus infections on September 8, the highest daily cases reported in 5 days. The total number of active infections in the country is currently at 24,032. Meanwhile, the nationwide COVID-19 positivity rate is at 11.9%. According to DOH, regions and provinces with the most new COVID-19 cases are National Capital Region with 945, Cavite with 156, Rizal with 103, Davao del Sur with 94, Pangasinan with 72, and Bulacan with 67. Moreover, President Bongbong Marcos met with the officials of the Department of Health or DOH and the Department of the Local Interior and Local Government or DILG to assess the current COVID-19 situation in the country. Here is the full story. President Marcos had a meeting with the officials of DOH and DILG to assess the current coronavirus situation in the country. Marcos called a meeting at Malacanang Palace following the recommendation of the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases or IATF-EID to allow the optional wearing of face masks outdoors. President Marcos, however, did not mention any decision yet, but he sees a positive development in the continued drop in COVID-19 infections amid his administration's efforts to ramp up the nationwide vaccination drive. According to the Office of the President, President Marcos welcomed the DOH report, which noted a steady decline in COVID-19 cases. It is said that the DOH attributes the low positivity rate of 12% to the success of the government's intensified national vaccine rollout. Meanwhile, the proposal to make the use of face masks optional was first raised by DILG Secretary Benhur Abalos Jr. Furthermore, DOH officer in charge Maria Rosario Vergere backed the proposed optional wearing of face masks but urged the public, especially vulnerable persons, to continue wearing one. Press Secretary Trixie Cruz Angeles reminded the public that the use of face masks remains mandatory unless Marcos approves the proposal to make it voluntary. For Golden Nation Network, this is Natalie Danganan. until President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. signs an executive order or EO permitting its optional use outdoors and other recommendations made by the nation's pandemic task force, Filipinos would still be compelled to wear their face masks. JC Ogaire has the full report.
Filipinos will still be required to wear their face mask until President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. issues an executive order approving its optional use outdoors and other guidelines proposed by the country's pandemic task force. Press Secretary Trixie Cruz Angeles reminded the public that the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Disease or IATF-EID has simply advised the optional outdoor use of face mask. In a statement, she said that IATF advised that wearing face mask is optional outside in open areas with excellent airflow, although it is still strongly recommended that the elderly and immunocompromised use their mask. Meanwhile, Cruz Angeles urged all government agencies to support the National Booster Week from September 26 to 29, 2022 through the implementation of sector-specific policies and incentives to encourage people to receive booster shots. For Golden Nation Network, this is JC Ogaire.
On to another health update. Scientists at Boston Children's Hospital in the U.S. state of Massachusetts say they have discovered an antibody that might be able to fight all COVID strains and variants. As per the findings, this could be useful for monoclonal antibody therapies as treatments for people who are infected with the coronavirus disease. Antibodies aim to block or stop COVID-19 from attaching or binding to a part of our cells called the ACE2 receptor, but the new antibody known as SP177 is different from other antibodies. It stops at a later step in infection, a point at which the virus fusses with cell membranes. Meanwhile, an earthquake with a magnitude of 4.6 jolted Catanduanes around 4:54 p.m. on Thursday. Based on the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology or PHIVOLCS bulletin, the epicenter of the earthquake was recorded 49 kilometers southeast of Baras, Catanduanes. It was tectonic in origin, indicating that it was caused by the movement of an active fault near the area. Meanwhile, intensity 4 was reported in Baras and Gigmoto in Catanduanes, while intensity 3 was recorded in Bato, Catanduanes. No aftershocks and damage are expected to follow. Weather update. According to Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration or PAGASA, the center of tropical storm Inday was estimated based on all available data at 865 kilometers east of central Luzon with maximum sustained winds of 85 kilometers per hour near the center and gustiness of up to 105 kilometers per hour. It is moving west-northwestward slowly. Tropical storm Inday is expected to bring cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms in Bicol region, Panay Island, Samar provinces, Mindoro provinces, Quezon, Marinduque, and Romblon. Meanwhile, localized thunderstorms will cause partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms over Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Coming up next on News Force, Meralco announces rate hike this month. Senator Cheese Escudero creates subcommittee to ensure impartial ROTC revival hearing. Real Admiral Valencia appointed as Philippine Navy Chief. Stay tuned for more stories and reports when News Force returns.